Jenny Agutter is another person who's also felt the pull of the West, and I caught up with her on one of her favourite walks in Cornwall. There's a strange magnetic force at play in the southwest, I think, and you don't realise how powerful it is until you try to leave, and no matter where you are in the world, it always draws you back. And that's exactly what happened to internationally acclaimed actress Jenny Agutter. Her husband grew up in this part of the world, and 13 years ago she was pulled here with her son and has been living here ever since. It's in her blood and she can't escape it. Jenny has a passion for the cliffs around Kynance Cove. The National Trust have painstakingly restored the coastal path, and the walk must be one of the most breathtaking scenic routes in the country. It does seem a ridiculous question on a day like today, in a location like this, for me to ask you what was it that brought you to Cornwall?
Yeah, quite. I suppose, I mean, I was born in Somerset, so I probably have Westcountry in my blood anyway. But I was first introduced to Cornwall by my husband 13 years ago. I'd worked here but never really kind of looked at it. And I came down and I fell in love. It's magical, constantly changing, and one's very impressed by nature and the wildness of the place. And it feels as though man can't actually make an impression here. You know, there's whatever you do, this is the most important part of it, are the elements, the sea and the rocks. And you also have great respect for the landscape down here.
And you've travelled the world as well, so when you came here, did you feel, oh, right, OK, I'm settled now, this is it, I feel comfortable?
Whenever I come back, if I've been away, whenever I go away, I come here and I think this is so exquisite. I must say I do feel very at home here. It does seem particularly wild. When you come to a spot like this at Kynance, which has these extraordinary rocks coming out of the sea, and then, you know, like a moonscape, flat, heathers going on forever, and I love wandering on these paths.
You're quite active, aren't you? You do walk a lot round here.
I love walking around here. I mean, you know, we've talked about eating well down here, and I need to walk a lot, but actually I really enjoy it. There's lots of different paths you can take, you know, through the villages, just along the coast. It's very wild. A lot of up and down, though, but that's good for one. Good for the thighs.
So you're definitely the person to walk this coastal path a little bit with me.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, good.
Right, off we go.
Yeah, just a bit, though. Coming up, more from Jenny Agutter. Welcome back to Celebrity Southwest and the second part of my chat with Jenny Agutter. Jenny started her acting career at the age of 11 and went on to star in films such as American Werewolf in London and Logan's Run. However, she's still fondly remembered for her early roles in films like Walkabout and The Railway Children. Do you ever tire of people asking you about The Railway Children?
No, not really. I mean, it's been very much a part of my life. And interesting enough, at the beginning, I did it twice, once for television, and then it came up and I thought, really, do I want to make this film? I've already done that. And then bumped into Lionel Jeffries, who was very, very winning, and I was very enthusiastic. And yes, and I'm thrilled that I made it. I think it's a wonderful piece of work to be involved with, and I was very lucky. In fact, before that, I had done Walkabout, which was also a film about innocence. So both of those films look at innocence from a different point of view. One is trying to maintain it, and the other is about how innocence disappears.
And once again, you know, is that another thing that haunted you? People say, oh, well, you took clothes off in that one.
Well, no, not really. Not sort of on the street kind of thing. I suppose, you know, there's a kind of break happened there. There weren't very many films being made in Britain at that time, and I went into theatre, which is where I really needed to learn about my craft. And then after spending a few years ending up at the National, I went to America and did Logan's Run and American Werewolf from there and Equus, and that's when people said, well, you take clothes off, but that's part of the play. They didn't mention it so much with Walkabout and Railway Children.
You just wave your knickers in Railway Children.
Petticoat, please.
Petticoat, I'm sorry. But you didn't really enjoy that sort of lifestyle, did you? Did
Los
the
Angeles.
LA sort of scene?
It didn't. The obvious, what people see over here as being the obvious glamorous way of life doesn't suit me very well, because it means being kind of on top of it all the time, which I didn't really like. But I had some very good friends over there. So I wasn't either on the A or B or C party lists, but I had some close friends whose company I enjoyed, and that made it for me.
And that's how you forgave yourself for cowardice in Ireland.
Jenny's latest role for the BBC production called Spooks took her from the peace and tranquility of Cornwall to the exciting and secretive world of MI5.
Let's just say that it would be better for you if I were to stay here.
It's a far cry from the Lizard Peninsula to MI5.
It certainly is, isn't it? That big building by the river with all those people working secretly inside. It's great fun to do Spooks, though, because Tessa was a really, well, not a very nice character. And people associate me so much with doing rather nice roles. I mean, apart from the theatre where I played really nasty characters. But on film, it's good to get somebody whose main interest is herself.
And was that the attraction when you looked at it and thought, ooh, I haven't done this before? This
Yes, it was the overall package as well. I mean, I looked at it, I thought this is an interesting role. She's quite kind of funny and feisty, and also good directors, good script, moves along at a great pace, and I had a feeling that they were going to do something quite different with it, and shoot it well. And yeah, it's always interesting to take on a role like that.
Well, you'd have done wonders for recruitment, I would have thought.
Well, it's definitely gone way up. How many they'll take on of those people, I don't know.
And will you do another series?
I hope so, actually, because I think there's a lot more to look at and a lot to develop, and there's a lot of stories out there to work at.
And what about the summer for you? What are you going to do? Are you staying down here?
I'm going to do absolutely nothing except for walk and eat and read and enjoy this.
Well, thank you for today's walk. That's lovely.
Thank you.